Dear learners, I am Ridita Tasmin. Welcome you all to the program of Bangladesh Open University. Today we will discuss from Bachelor of Business Studies program, and our topic is Lesson 5 and the title is A Mother's Job. So please open your Business English course book. But before we start, we have to know the objectives. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to read and understand a story. Then you will be able to ask and answer questions. Then you will be able to use adjectives. And then you will be able to use group words of the same time. And finally, you will be able to describe an animal. A Mother's Job. The name of the story is A Mother's Job. It is actually about Abdul Rahman. Now, I will read the story. Please be with me. In section 1, we find Abdul Rahman was a very wise and witty man in the court of King Bahadur. King Bahadur was the ruler of the Vijayanagar kingdom. Abdul Rahman was the court jester, and many stories are told about him. One day, King Bahadur asked his courtiers, "You are wise and learned men. Tell me which is the most difficult job in the world." These courtiers had a ready answer. They said, "Your Majesty, everyone knows that the job of ruling the country is by far the most difficult job in the world." The king was pleased with their answer, but he noticed that Abdul Rahman was smiling to himself as if he found this answer funny. The king asked him why he was smiling. "Perhaps you don't agree with your friends that my job is the most difficult job in the world. Is that why you are smiling?" Abdul Rahman said, "Your Majesty, I agree that it is difficult to rule a country well, but I don't think it is the most difficult job in the world. There is another job which is much more difficult." So, dear learners, from this section 1, we came to know that in King Bahadur's court, there was a jester named Abdul Rahman, who was very wise and witty person. He had another opinion about the most difficult job in the world. Now, from this section, we have to do some exercises. For this, we have to read the text very carefully, then we have to think for a while, and after that, we have to fill some blanks. Our first question is, Abdul Rahman was a court dash. Then Abdul Rahman was dash and dash. Then King Bahadur wanted to know dash. Then dash said that to rule a kingdom was dash. And the last question is, but Abdul Rahman said that he did not think dash. So let's go back to the text. Our first question is, Abdul Rahman was a court jester. we find the answer in the first paragraph. Then Abdul Rahman was dash and dash, that means Abdul Rahman was wise and witty. Then number 3, King Bahadur wanted to know dash. King Bahadur wanted to know what was the most difficult job in the world, and we find this answer in the third paragraph. Our next question is dash said that to rule a kingdom was dash. The courtiers said that to rule a kingdom was the most difficult job in the world, and we find this answer in the fourth paragraph. And the last question is, but Abdul Rahman said that he did not think dash. The answer will be, but Abdul Rahman said that he did not think that ruling a kingdom was the most difficult job in the world. And we find this answer in the last paragraph of the first section. So, dear learners, do you find the story interesting? Now, let's read and find out what Abdul Rahman felt was the most difficult job in the world. To know this, we have to read section 2. Let's move on to section 2. Tell us what that job is, Rahman, said the king. A mother's job, said Rahman. It is much more difficult to keep a child happy than to look after a kingdom. The whole court broke into loud laughter, and of course Rahman was asked to prove the truth of his words. So Rahman brought a woman and her young son to the king. Now ask the kind king for anything that you want, he told the little boy. An elephant, said the little boy at once. An elephant was immediately brought for him. Put him into my basket, the boy said. I want to take him home. But he won't fit into your basket, son. He will come walking behind you when you go home. The little boy was stubborn. I want him in my basket, he said. My friends won't know that he is my elephant if I don't take him home in my basket. He started crying, and nothing that anyone said would make him change his mind. The king and his courtiers tried everything they could, but the boy just did not listen. He cried and cried. Then the mother said something to Rahman, and he immediately sent for a toy elephant. She turned to her son and said, Look, my son, here's a small elephant which is much more beautiful, and there is a golden umbrella on top of its head. It has wheels so that you can pull it behind you wherever you go. It will fit easily into your basket. Tell the man to take away the big elephant. Your basket will break if you put him in it, and you can't take him to your friend's house because he is so big. The boy stopped crying. The mahout led away the elephant, and the little boy and his mother went away happily. Then the king, wiping the sweat from his brow, said, Rahman, I agree that a mother's job is the most difficult job in the world. So, dear learners, in this story we find that how difficult a mother's job is. In fact, managing a child is the most difficult job in the world. And at the end of the story, we found that the king himself admitted this. Now, we have some question answers from this section. Let's read. Question number 1. What, according to Abdul Rahman, was the most difficult job in the world? The answer is a mother's job. And we find this in the very first paragraph of the second section. Our second question is, who did Abdul Rahman bring to court? The answer is a mother and her young son. We also find this answer in the first part of the second section. Then number 3, what did the little boy ask for? Then number 3, what did the little boy ask from the king? The answer is an elephant. As we know that the boy wanted an elephant from the king. Number 4, why did the boy start crying? Mention 2 reasons. Here we have to think for a while, and before this we have to read the story again. At the end of the section 2, we find that there are 2 reasons. Number 1, the elephant did not fit into the basket, and number 2, he could not take it home to show his friends. And the last question is, what did the mother do? The answer is, she asked for a toy elephant. Now we have some overall questions. Let's see the question. What did King Bahadur ask his courtiers? Why did Abdul Rahman smile at their answer? This question is from section 1. So we have to go back to section 1. The answer is, what was the most difficult job in the world? And the second part is, because in fact a mother's job was more difficult. I repeat, what did King Bahadur ask his courtiers? The answer is, what was the most difficult job in the world? And the second part of this question is, why did Abdul Rahman smile at their answer? The answer is, because in fact a mother's job was more difficult. Then our second question is, how did King Bahadur learn that a mother's job is the most difficult job in the world? This question is from the second section. Here we find the answer. Abdul Rahman bought a young boy. The boy asked for an elephant. He wanted to take the elephant into his basket, but it did not fit in. Then he started crying, and then he was given a toy elephant. And finally, he was happy. Dear learners, from this story, A Mother's Job, we had 2 sections, section 1 and section 2. From these 2 sections, we came to know how to read and understand a story. Then we came to know how to ask and answer questions. And now it's time to learn grammar. Here in this section, we will learn how to use adjectives. In this text, you have found some words like wise, witty, stubborn. These are called adjectives because these words speaks about a person. We get more information about a person. For example, if I say he is a teacher, and then if I say he is a good teacher, there is a difference between these 2 sentences, right? So first sentence tells us that he is a teacher, and the second sentence tells us he is a good teacher. This is adjective because it tells us about the teacher or the quality of the teacher. So it is called adjective. For example, a wise courtier, a witty person, a stubborn child, all these are adjective because words which tell us more about a person or a thing or a place are called adjectives. There are some words we have to use them to fill the blanks. Now let's have a look on the words. Beautiful, old, good, simple, handsome. Now we have a passage. Let's read. Shamim is a dash boy. He has a dash friend. He likes dash sculptures. Sometimes he buys dash flowers. He leads a very dash life. Now we have to fill the gaps with the appropriate word. Why appropriate? Because if I say Shamim is a simple boy, it's correct but not appropriate. Then I can say he leads a good life. This is also correct but not appropriate for this passage. Now let's try. Shamim is a good boy. He has a handsome friend, because we can't use beautiful friend, as here we find he. So he has a handsome friend. He likes old sculptures. Sometimes he buys many beautiful flowers, and he leads a very simple life. So now you can understand that each words are appropriate for this passage. Now we have increased your word power. Whenever we read a text or a particular story, we find that there are so many new words. These new words increases our vocabulary. It helps us to make new sentences. Now we will try a new thing. There is a table. In the first column we have type, and in the second column we have names. If the type is animals, then the names are elephant, tiger, lion, giraffe. Then if the type is place, the names are Dhaka, Barisal, Sylhet, Khulna. And if the name is fruits, then the names are, if the type is fruits, then the names are mango, apple, guava, banana. And if the type is things, then the names are book, pencils, pens, mugs. Dear learners, from this table we have learned, in the first column we had types, and in the second column we had names. If I say animal, then I will say lion, tiger, etc., etc. So if I am given a group of words, then I have to find out the odd word from this group of words. Let's try. For example, Mohan, Lalit, pencil, Reena. So what do you think? Mohan, Lalit, pencil, Reena. From this group of words, Mohan, Lalit, Reena, these are names. Here the odd word is pencil, because it's a name of a thing. Then pigeon, peacock, kabaddi, sparrow. Pigeon, peacock, sparrow, these three are birds' name. But kabaddi is a name of a game. Then cricket, badminton, football, singing. Here cricket, badminton, football, these are the names of games, but singing is different, so it's odd word. Then rice, bread, cake, swimming. Here rice, bread, cake, these three words are name of food, so swimming is our odd word here. And Patuakhali, Kumilla, guitar, Nator. In this group of words we find guitar odd, because Patuakhali, Kumilla and Nator, these are the name of places. Dear learners, our next topic is how to describe an animal. In this section we will try to describe an elephant. I'm sure you have seen the picture of an elephant, or in real life you have seen an elephant in the zoo or in the circus. So it's very familiar to you. Now I'll give you a group of words. The words are legs, trunk, bananas, grey, tail, ears, tusks. Let's read the passage. The elephant is a large animal. It is dash in color. It has 4 fat dash. It has a long dash in front. It has 2 dash. The elephant has a small tail, but it has 2 big dash. The elephant loves to eat dash. Now we have to use these words to fill the gaps. The elephant is a large animal. It is dash in color. From the group of words, we find only the word grey, which indicates color. So we have to fill the gaps with grey. Then it has 4 fat dash. As we know, an elephant is a 4-footed animal and its legs are fat. So we can put legs here. It has 4 fat legs. Then it has a long dash in front. Just imagine the picture of an elephant. In front we have trunk. So it has a long trunk in front. It has 2 dash. It has 2 ears. The elephant has a small tail, but it has 2 big tusks. The elephant loves to eat bananas. We can take bananas because from the group of words, only banana is the name of a fruit here. So we can fill the gap with bananas. So dear learners, we can describe an animal in this way. But whenever we will describe an animal, we have to have the idea of an animal in our brain. So that's all for today. If you face any problem regarding this lesson, you can ask your tutor of your tutorial center. You can also write to us. Our address is Dean Open School, Bangladesh Open University, Ghazipur 1705. And you can also watch these programs in YouTube. Hope to see you in the next program. Till then, take care and stay fine. Goodbye.